Okay. Hello. I have bought myself a little treat. And in usual FMS fashion, the first impression is the box, and it looks great. Consistent with their other models I have bought, and very colorful and vibrant, and would look good on a shelf just as a showpiece by itself. The box also has most of the information you need on the car, such that it comes with a steel C-channel frame, that it has a hard body where both side doors and the rear door can open. The seats are made out of soft rubber, and that it has a full set of ball bearings throughout. The radio is a standard FMS radio, nothing fancy. It does what it should, but at least I can reach the wheel with my thumb since I like driving one-handed. The manual comes with a full set of exploded diagrams with part numbers, so when you break something, you will know what you need, even if half the stuff is still laying in a mud pile on some forest trail. It is sitting on a 110 scale chassis, but the body of it makes the car more of a 1/7 scale if you actually compare the numbers of a real size Toyota FJ40. Under the hood, literally, since you open the hood to see what the components are, it comes with an ESC with XT60 battery connector, a standalone receiver, which is a good thing, so you can switch out components without having to replace all of it at once if you wish, and a 35-turn 550 motor. The plastic wheels has the fairly standard 1.9-inch tires, so there are lots of spare wheels to buy. It comes out of the box with oil in the shocks, and as you can see, most of the components here are plastic except for the frame rails that are metal. The suspension is quite loose and bouncy, but with this body it looks really good once it's out on the trail. You can also buy a set of leaf springs for it if you prefer that. The body has a lot of little details all around them, with a gas lid and movable door handles and so on. The interior is also very detailed, with speedometers and even the warning label on the passenger side. The steering wheel moves along with the wheels, since it has a little micro servo, which is a really nice touch. It even has little door cards on the inside of the doors, as well as cloth rear seats that can fold away if you wish. It isn't without its issues, however. Okay. Yeah, this is an issue. So I'll show you what the actual issue here is. If we take a look here, we open the hood, and if you can see, it's a little hard to see in this view, like this. The only battery that I have that fits is a 3S. This is the only one that I can fit down here, but it doesn't properly fit. So it's just laying here loosely. The other batteries that I have, the one that I use in my TRX4, it's too wide. So it looks like it fits, but it doesn't have the lead on it. So when I put on the lead, it just doesn't go down. The other one that I have for my drift car, well, as you can see, and it would just fall off and hit the tire. So first of all, I have to find something to strap it down with, so it's at least the 3S battery fits. So I have to strap it down, just make sure it doesn't fall off, because if it falls off it's gonna hit the tire and that's gonna cause all sort of issues. And it will fall off when I'm driving it outside. Especially when it's bouncing around like it did. As you could see on 3S, I could barely drive it. It's like when you hit the throttle, it just jumps. And I probably have to switch out the ESC to something that has some kind of adjustable drag brake, I guess. Just so I can make it a little bit more soft in the throttle response. But other than that, yeah. I'm gonna have to order some stuff before I actually get this out, because I'm not gonna take it out when it's driving like this, which is unfortunate. The car looks fantastic. It's a great looking model, but it's kind of an issue that it works like this. So I have two things to do. First, or three I guess. First I'm gonna order some new batteries that actually fit in the hole or in the battery compartment down here. And then secondly, I'm gonna have to find something to strap it down with. And third, I'm gonna have to find an ESC. Like, I've seen recommendations that a 1080 Hobby Wing, I think it is recommended. So I guess I'll have to look for one of those. The battery and the strap I have to do to actually test this out. The ESC I will probably do later in another video, so stay tuned for that, I guess. So until I can get that on, it's gonna be a couple seconds for you, but for me it's probably gonna take a couple of days to get some orders in, so be back in a second. I solved it by installing a pair of battery straps, which the battery tray is already prepared for. I also bought two 2200 mAh C batteries on a sale, which are a lot smaller, so now everything fits nicely and securely. Starting out with a small speed comparison between the 2S and 3S batteries. I missed my turning point on 3S, so the distance I drive is a lot further on 3S, but it still makes it back earlier than the 2S, so it's quite a bit faster, but still no speed demon. So how is it to drive? It's a bit top heavy, so it can fall over if you aren't careful. But buying a hard body comes with that type of stuff, and for how nice this looks with all its little details and being so large, it's basically a trail rig anyway, and that is what I use it for. But the limits of what it can do in its stock form is basically set by if you can get the front bumper onto it. If you can most likely climb over it, so even though it's large and heavy, it is still quite capable. And just looking at it swaying from side to side with the suspension it has is great. I'm probably not going to do any changes to the shocks because I really enjoy watching it dance around when it gets a little bumpy. The twitchiness I had on 3S is not as bad on 2S. It is still there, but when you're trailing it's much less noticeable, so it's not a deal breaker for me. I will probably try to fix it because it does stop on a dime once you let go of the throttle, and it's a little jarring, but it's perfectly fine to drive like that. It's not very fast, but on 2S it is slightly faster than my normal walking pace, so I don't need it to be a lot faster than that at least. The only downside of this whole rig for me, now that I have driven it a couple of miles, is that it is very noisy. Once I do some mods to this, I will also open the diffs and try to grease up all of the gears and see if I can lower the noise levels of it. With my TRX4 I have met a couple of deer staring at me from a very close distance, and dogs that I meet on the trail haven't had any issues with it. but the noise the FJ40 makes is making dogs jittery, and while it could just be a coincidence since it's not every day you meet wild animals, so maybe it's a built-in feature to keep bears and wolves away. If there never is another video after I grease up the gears, I guess you know what happened to me. Am I happy with my purchase? Oh, absolutely I am. As a trailer, this is a phenomenal vehicle, especially if you value looks. It isn't a competition crawler by any means, but you can make it better at crawling, I suppose, but for trailing it's a lot of fun taking it for walks. And if you want to see more of the footage in the background, the next video on the channel will be a full footage from one of the walks in my Walk With Me series, where I just take one of my cars and go for a walk and you can join in. No talking, just walking. Until then, thanks for watching.